hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my psyche.
War usually brings out the biggest extremes in the character of men. Some men find the best versions of themselves, overcoming dire circumstances to perform heroic acts of bravery, like jumping on top of a bomb in order to prevent your comrades from dying, or taking a bullet for one of your comrades. Others give into their darker natures, tormenting their enemies, killing innocent civilians, and in some cases, having their way sexually with whatever woman they run across. In the Naruto universe, war exists there as well, as we all know, where the men and women battle their primal urges and their primal instincts, all while fighting for their pride or their village. By the events of the Boruto era, 4 ninja wars have been fought, with only the last war being the only conflict where the ninja world was unified against a common enemy, preventing the revival of the Ten Tails. However, almost 16 years later, the threat of a 5th grade ninja war has indeed arisen, and it shouldn't come as a shock to any of you guys who watch the Boruto anime. The Boruto anime has dropped numerous hints of conflict between the nations, which I will touch on in this video, but none of what we've seen in the anime compares to the conflict that almost led to the 5th grade ninja war that would have started right after the versus Momoshiki arc and just before the start of the Majina Bandits arc of the manga. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys what almost led to the 5th grade ninja war and explain to you guys how the Boruto anime has been setting up for this moment. So, contrary to popular belief, things aren't all peachy and cream between all the 5 great nations. While they do agree to share intelligence, there's still exists major problems when it comes to continuing the world's very first ninja alliance. The first sign of trouble came during the previous generation of 5 Kage. Despite Shikamaru leading the council of the 5 great nations to keep the ninja alliance running on peaceful terms, after the 4th great ninja war, the 4th Raikage turned his nose up at the idea of demilitarization of the Hidden Cloud village, while everyone else agreed to the terms of new treaty. Continue his military expansion by creating a chakra cannon that he used in the movie for Naruto the Last. The chakra cannon was believed to be powerful enough that it can destroy the entire moon. But the reason that the other Kages and the feudal lords were so alarmed at the Land of Lightning is that if the Land of Lightning wished to start a war, the chakra cannon could be used to create severe casualties, potentially wiping out an entire village in the process if they aimed that chakra cannon at one of the ninja villages. Jumping forward to the Boruto era, you have a moment where during the Hidden Mist field trip arc, where Mei and Chojuro flat out state that war between the Land of Fire and the Land of Water could be in the near future because as Mizukage, they had no choice but to follow the orders of the feudal lord. While it's never confirmed based on the ranking system of the feudal lords holding power over each of the Kage, it's safe to assume that back during the events of Naruto the Last, created the chakra cannon under the direction of the feudal lord. When we get to the Mitsuki desertion arc, the actions of Inoki are directly stated by his successor to be dangerous enough that it could shatter the alliance between the nations and start a war in itself. Even Naruto, someone who is usually very laid back, realized the seriousness of the situation when he learned that Boruto and Sarada were on their way to Hidden Rock Village, and when he tried to speak with the Tsuchikage, she completely shut him down when it came to this. This brings us back to the meat and potatoes of the issue, which is how the 5th Great Ninja War almost started under Naruto's Hokage. At the start of the Shikamaru Shinden novel, which is set at the start of the Majina Bandits arc, a extremely tense 5 Kage summit takes place. The Tsuchikage goes off on Naruto and accuses him of breaking the rules of the Ninja Alliance Treaty by creating scientific ninja tools, since that would count as military expansion. And being honest with you, she does have a good reason to be alarmed, because those ninja tools could make even low-level fighter ninja have the ability to use jutsu like a Materasu if it's been sealed away inside of those ninja tools. Naruto, being Naruto, attempts to use Talk no Jutsu, stating that the usage of the ninja tools was only experimental and that they possess the potential to be used for good, which I can kind of see where he's coming from. I want you guys to think of it like this. Naruto, in a way, was kind of channeling Hashirama Senju. Hashirama Senju gave each of the villages a biju in the attempt to strengthen relationships between the villages and prevent war from continuing. Eventually, the other 4 nations would be made aware of the ninja tools, and if Naruto had gotten his intended result, then the ninja tools would have been used to inspire the new generation of shinobi to train harder. Now, much to Naruto's credit, Darui and Gaara take Naruto's side during the discussion, but Chojuro stood next to the Tsuchikage, likely due to their 2 nations being equally dependent on one another when it comes to trade reasons. One really can't survive without the other. It's at this point that Sasuke Uchiha gets dropped into the conversation by the Tsuchikage and by the Mizukage. The point that's being made is that Konoha is once again potentially at the root of another ninja war, which, going back through history, if we're being honest with ourselves, Konoha did start a majority of the 4 great ninja wars. They bring up the fact that Sasuke Uchiha's actions 15 years ago were the embers that started the giant flame that became the 4th great ninja war, to which Naruto quickly gets triggered because his best friend, who's now been redeemed, is now being turned into a scapegoat. However, Shikamaru, who had been listening to the entire debate between the Kages, quickly realized that there was something more to the situation that was being left out. This leads Shikamaru to reaching out to the team of Anbu that he assembled to infiltrate the Land of Silence many years ago, back when Kakashi first became Hokage. Shikamaru dispatches the team on an S-rank mission into sneaking into the Hidden Rock Village to spy on the Tsuchikage and learn what she was really planning. Their mission was only to gather intel, and they were not to kill or interact, because killing would raise chances of there being another ninja war happening, and things were already extremely tense. It's in the time afterwards that Shikamaru actually learns the truth. The Hidden Stone Village, at the order of the feudal lord, were planning to invade the Land of Flowers to take over their crops. Now, the Land of Flower is essentially an ally to the Hidden Cloud Village, which means that an invasion would start a war between the Hidden Cloud Village and the Hidden Flower Village versus the Hidden Rock Village, who would be joined up by the Hidden Mist Village because of their codependency on one another. Upon getting all this information, Shikamaru finally tells Naruto everything that Shikamaru has done behind Naruto's back, and Shikamaru states that if the Tsuchikage is not stopped, then a 5th great ninja war will take place. Naruto's response to all this is pretty naive in my opinion, but Naruto's response is that the peace between the villages would have been maintained if the Hidden Rock Village had simply told the other Kage exactly what was going on when it came to the food shortages, when it came to the water issues, and the other issues that they had when it came to dealing with the feudal lord. Naruto states that it's his goal to make sure that Boruto's generation never has to experience war like he did, and Naruto plans to come up with a solution, but Shikamaru remains skeptical due to his belief that the ninja villages are always going to go back to being at the beck and call of the feudal lords, being forced to fight in whatever wars they may or may not believe in, and that a ninja will always be a ninja, putting country before peace. However, as Naruto's resolve to solve the situation grows, Shikamaru does see the light in Naruto's reasoning, which ironically gives Shikamaru and Sasuke a moment to bond. Though upon hearing the Tsuchikage openly talk about invading the Land of Flowers, which causes Darui to get ready to throw hands with the Tsuchikage right there on the spot, Shikamaru doesn't hesitate to put the 5 Kage and all of their bodyguards under his shadow paralysis jutsu, and just as he's about to snap the neck of the Tsuchikage, Naruto casually breaks out the jutsu, stares down Shikamaru, and tells him not to kill the Tsuchikage, despite Naruto saving her life. Now get this right, get this right here. Despite Naruto saving her life, the Tsuchikage continues to talk out the side of her mouth, wanting all the smoke in the room, and she warns Naruto that despite his firm convictions, the next Hokage might not share his thoughts for peace, and that war would eventually happen between the 5 great nations yet again, and that it's only a matter of time that it happens. In an effort to prevent war, Naruto goes behind the backs of all the Kage, and he travels to meet with the new feudal lord of the Land of Fire, who you can actually see in Boruto episode 24, by the way. Naruto actually convinced the feudal lord of the Land of Fire to give a massive and generous contribution to the Land of Earth to help prevent a war that would have been on the brink of breaking out. The logic behind all this is kind of like this. If you tell someone you need a new car and you don't have the money to buy a new car, then you only have the option to take a loan, right? Well, if someone gave you a brand new car, does that mean you have to take out the loan? No, it means you don't have to take out a loan to buy something that you can't afford at the moment. Same thing is going on here. Naruto and the Land of Fire's feudal lord basically forced the Land of Earth to not start a war by invading the Land of Flowers by giving the generous gift that they did. So I want to know from you guys, which Kage in this situation did you think was right? Was it the Tsuchikage, who, bound by the orders of a feudal lord, and was adamant that peace between the nations was only temporary, and that Naruto was in the wrong for having the scientific ninja tools, which can and should be viewed as military expansion? Do you think that the Tsuchikage was right? Or do you fall on the side of Naruto, thinking that Naruto's right, believing that the goal of preventing war for the new generation is enough of a reason for the villages to work together in order to work through their problems? Finally, do you think that the peace between the 5 great nations is sustainable as long as you have feudal lords who are calling the shots? I'm very interested to know what you guys think. And as one final thing, I will say, if you go back to my video where I talk about Itachi Uchiha's dream of becoming Hokage, this type of a situation is exactly what Itachi foresaw when Itachi was a Genin. So that's just a little food for thought for you right there. I'll leave that video linked down in the description box if you want to check that one out. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.